Microphone is muted. There, I am unmuted, but Gail's still muted. So I'm going to bring her on right now. Welcome, everybody. Oh, it's great. There's so many of you jumping on. Say hey. Let's give our Fall Fest guest, Gail Crosman Moore, a huge hello and welcome. Gail, I'm putting you on. You're on. We did it.
Wow.
We did it. How are you,
Techno
friend?
genius, I am not.
You know what? But you are a jewelry genius. Our buddy Jill McKay is already on and watching. Jill says hello. You know, you and Jill, and I guess me, we're kind of like the OGs, the old gangstas of the bead world. Right?
It's I was wondering just how long it's been since I met you. Is 91 a possibility?
I think it was 92. I think we have known each other for actually over 30 years. We were
that went fast.
We did. As my friend Steve Schreiber says, blink of an eye. I know, right?
Totally.
It's crazy. So many people, Gail, have jumped on and are welcoming you. Our buddy Diane Campbell from the Bay Area, she says hello. People are really excited to see your work in action. So Gail and I are going to chat for a few. We're going to talk all about where you can find her stuff. We're going to look at her project for the Fall Fest on the Great Bead Extravaganza. And then who knows what else we're going to let slip. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? So Gail, yeah, we've known each other, I think, since 1992.
Wow.
Right? And we've not aged a day.
Nope.
B, we're amazing. Those two things.
Compounded with interest.
Compounded, that's right. One of my fond memories, you did some great videos for Lisa Kelly over at Beaducation. I had the fun times of editing some of your amazing felting videos. But I like to call myself an omnicrafter, right? I like to dabble in, like, I don't know what, sewing and beading and all this stuff. You, my friend, are a true omnicrafter. You have so many disciplines.
Well, that's because I'm short on one discipline.
So what did you start with, Gail? So you do metal, you do felt, you do seed bead work. I'm sure there are other things that I haven't thought of. So back when we met, and glass, back in 1992, what was the thing that you were doing?
I had just leaped over into making a choice of I'd been making handbound books and selling them at the ACC shows, and just making them at home.
Wow.
And then making a living out of paper is really hard. The shop worn aspect of it, et cetera, et cetera. So I had blown glass in college and loved it. And my friend had a bead on her ankle. And I said, where'd you get that? And she said, I made it. And she told me the exact process. And it's like, they didn't tell me that in college. That I could do this at home, know? So I set up, and that's when I met you. I think it was my very first show in Providence.
I believe that is correct. And back in the day at the Whole Bee shows in Providence, Rhode Island, that was such a great show. And back in like the early 90s, lampwork glass or glass bead making, I mean, I've dabbled in it myself. My torch is sitting right, like, oh, I want to get it out again. And I still have all my glass, all of that. It was super satisfying. And it was so great to see, like, all of these different styles. Like our buddy Leah Fairbanks was working at that time. You remember, like, Lauren Stump? You remember Lauren, our buddies are all those borosilicate, Tom Boylan, all those borosilicate makers and users. But your glass of choice was Boro, wasn't it? Isn't it?
Yep. For the majority of my quote glass career, I used
Mm-hmm.
Boro.
Mm-hmm.
I switched it up the last few years that I was making beads a lot because I was hired by Troll Beads to design some, 6 beads at a time.
Right.
And so I really had to get up to speed with the soft stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then I had switched out a torch, so I really didn't have the torch that can really get me where I want to go with Boro. So,
Mm-hmm.
and about that time, I was teaching elementary art also,
Mm-hmm.
3 days a week, and then going to shows on weekends. And what was I going to say about that? Well, it was really hard to pull it all off for sure,
Right.
but they
Right.
that wasn't the point. The point was
Were
they
you
wouldn't.
looking on to your next enterprise?
Right, they weren't really willing to keep my schedule the same, so I could
Mm.
the plans, you know.
Mhm.
But while I was there, this is the point. A grant possibility came across my desk, and I don't consider myself a wordsmith at all. But I thought, well, this is exercise. So I wrote for a grant and I got it.
What?
And that was $5,000 so I could learn all I could about felt making. I really wanted to make my jewelry lighter. The lamp work was just heavy. So I wanted a way to have volume without weight. And pretty much that's been my mission since.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't want it to be diminutive, you know. I want it to have to say something, but not weigh you down. I don't like heavy earrings nor heavy
Mhm.
necklaces, you know. So felt works really well, paper works really well. Um,
And so, when do you still make glass beads at all?
I'm all set up downstairs, and I'm doing something in April.
Mhm.
Um, Working with Chris Scheibel and the SGI, they have a yearly get together, and it's usually around lamp working.
Mhm.
And it will be around lamp working still, but much less so because I will introduce them to all these other things that they might add to their glass. So
That's
I'm going to
super.
have to practice a little bit, get up to
Yeah, a little
speed.
bit. A little
Yeah.
bit. So, with felting, I know that your felting took on, at least to me it seemed like that your felt had a very kind of amorphous, natural, like if I were walking along like an enchanted path and there would all of a sudden be one of Gail's felted things that would kind of appear like from a forest or something. I don't know if that makes sense at all,
Yeah,
but
forest, ocean, it comes from the natural world, but we're not quite sure
right,
which.
right.
Yeah.
I just love it. And you also do some embellishment work on that felt using seed beads, using vintage things. We were talking the other day. Um, I was using my vintage sequins that I got from you so many years ago. Um, so, what did the fiber itself kind of form what it is that you made, or did you find like the ephemera to add to that? Did that kind of form your ideas?
Well, part of what really fuels my world are is the notion of pods
Mhm.
and that inner life force. Um, so the felt was great to make vessels. I think probably what you edited from Lisa was me making a little pouch. Yeah.
Yes.
And, the edge of that can be really, we'll call it deckled, you know,
Mhm.
um, and they were really fun to embellish with all
Yeah.
the stuff. As felt is, I really love the combination of
Mhm.
uh, hard beads and soft material.
Yeah, it's so good. And then you moved into kind of metal. What you're wearing there, if I am not mistaken, is metal clay.
Yes. Yep. And that just sort of extended that same idea. So maybe more you don't have to stretch as far to know what it is. So,
Yeah.
this is like a lotus. This is a shell. And this
Mhm.
is not mine, but it's a wonderful heart. What do you call it? That that flower.
The flower. I'm oh, like a fuchsia?
Mm, sort of like a fuchsia, but this is the bleeding heart.
Ah, bleeding heart.
Bleeding.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So beautiful.
What's his name? He lives in Texas.
It'll come
Shoot.
to you.
Anyway,
It'll
Scattered
come to
Light
you.
is the name of the business.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
And so now you're utilizing this fairly not it's not a new material because it's been around for a while. It's a material that I love that I found during the pandemic, and started kind of creating little things out of it as well. You're working with, well, you have worked with resin before. I love your resin pieces are like ethereal. They're so amazing. But your work with, I guess we call it shrink plastic, don't
yeah,
we? Is that what we call it?
yeah.
Um, has really uh, forwarded the medium, I think, or elevated the medium, I guess. So, what brought you to working with resins and the plastics?
The resin was really about the glow that I was achieving. So I
Oh,
started to make pigments that I could really goose the glow, and so I really liked that. And I could get another mission along with the lightweight is to get everything out of 2D into 3D.
hmm.
And when I was going back to teaching school, Shrinky Dink was extremely generous, and they would send me stacks of the
Wow.
sheets.
Wow.
And I would like do projects with the classes and then spend hours after school up in the cafeteria putting them all on the big sheets and cooking them up. Um, and then I saw that Julie Haymaker was making molds to get it out of 2D and give me a wonderful little bead cap.
Yeah, little pod.
Little
Just,
pod, that's right.
yes.
And she first started, she made every single mold herself out of
She
plastic.
did. Yeah.
And that was amazing. But it's even more amazing now with the silicone, just because it's
Hmm.
a much more durable product. But
Hmm.
the molds are awesome. There's 5 different profiles you can have
Hmm.
create, and the shrink plastic is really a designer's dream because
Hmm.
it's so easy to create the shape, um, and then just maybe use your imagination to get that 3D in there. So making bales and buckles and all of these things, they're durable enough to really use.
Yeah. No, and what I thought was really cool was that they are, again, so light, right? And you can stack, you can get a lot of, I feel like you get a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, it just looks so good, and you can add color, you can just add like opacity or transparency. All of that comes into play, I think.
So true. And getting a glow into that is my next drive. It's like any medium. I mean, this is a simple medium that's used by children, but there are some real nuances that you learn if you're really digging into it. You know,
Hmm.
i.e., if the plastic has been um, colored, it acts totally different than if it's just the translucent. Um, and so, it calls for different handling.
Yeah, no, it's so good. So let me pull up I have your website up here, Gail, and people can find more about your art and your many years of experience, beautiful gallery of your work and stuff all there. There's a link there to your shop, and you can also find the kit that Gail has done for the Great Bead Extravaganza. You'll see it there. We're going to talk about the kit a little bit. So why don't you, Gail, go ahead and switch your camera? I'm going to pull your camera out for a second, and
Okay.
then I'll add you back in when you're ready to go.
Sounds great.
So you can find, let me stand up here. There we go. So let me show you here. I've got Gail's um her kit. Let me add that up so you can see it. Here it's right it's I'm right here. But isn't that beautiful? Those are all the pods are made out of that shrink plastic, right? Let me get from behind here. There we go. I can't tell which side I want to go to. I think this side. There we go. The pods are made of that shrink plastic, and you also get that really gorgeous, gorgeous chain. And on Sunday, when Gail does her demo, she's going to walk you all the way through it from embellishing it all the way to shrinking. And it looks like Gail is ready. So let me take this off. Gail, I'm going to add you back in.
Okay.
So I've added you. Perfect. I'm going to take our names out here so that they don't block. And I'm also going to try and make us a little, well, I think that range. I'm going to spotlight you here. There we go. So you've got the screen. We've got some beautiful work there. You've got the actual kit in front of you. So
Mm-hmm.
talk about what it is you're doing with the kit or whatever it is you want to share.
Okay, so this kit is simple with regards to the ingredients, and it can be as simple or as complicated as you make it in terms of the
Mhm,
decoration. So,
mhm.
what the kit contains is your choice of color chain, of which I have 8 or 10, I think, and then these two bales, which what they do is they,
Oh, yeah. Look at that. The movement.
yeah, it's great. They spin. So two sides, a little bit different on both sides because the one side was a taupe color, this side, and then the other side you can see down through the plastic to the taupe. So it
Mhm.
has a totally different color and finish when you're working on the different sides of the shrink plastic. So that is the taupe one. Now this is the translucent shrink plastic, which most people are probably most familiar with. And, um,
Oh,
there's,
look at that. That has some definite glow to it for sure.
yep, you can see right into that, right?
Yeah, gorgeous.
And then, woohoo.
That movement. That's
So
so
that's
great.
different on both sides, of
Mhm,
course. And then the other end of this, because the kit has stuff for two, and
mhm,
they're different. This is smaller than the other one, and
mhm,
this is a different shape than the other one. So
mhm.
you get 8 pieces of the shrink plastic with
Mm.
which you then create um,
All your
this
components, yeah.
this little thing does a neat thing. It sort of um, it defines the loop
Right,
and just
right.
closes it up a little bit. So there's
That's so
two of
great.
those, and the shrink plastic I had
And you
cut.
get this amazing handout that you do, and look at all
Yeah,
that.
so people, I think they just need a little goose sometimes.
Yeah.
So I this is on the back of um the the thing I put in the
Mhm,
envelope.
mhm.
Um and uh that just gives you a head start. And then you will make a choice of whether or not you get, I don't know if you can see that, but these are pre-cuts.
Right, right.
So you'll just punch them out of this sheet and you'll have the translucent as a choice or the
Or
taupe.
the opaque, right, nice. And then, you have a reference for Julie Haymaker's, website to get the molds and things, right? I mean, you could just do these flat and they would look cool, but the molds are really what bring these to life, right?
Yes, they're what really has made the difference in my world. Flat, you could put some space between, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
um,
some little beads and stuff like that,
but the molds are really the deal as far as I'm concerned.
right.
And
And you're referring people, I have them right here it's under her Shrinkits site. Is that right?
yep, she has two sites. One is her Shrink It site, and the other one is her uh, Julie Haymaker site. Um, they have a lot of the same things, I think, but
Okay.
I think if you want the molds, the Shrink It site is the place to go directly.
Okay. I'm going to put that link right up here. Bear with me here just a second
Mm.
while I grab that. And that chain is really cool, Gail. I just want all that chain.
Oh, the chain is, it rocks it. It is, they are 48 inches long and they are connected. So there's no clasp per se. There's
Oh,
just 48 inches of wonderful chain that
oh
you
gosh.
can, it can go around your head twice.
I love it.
So, you have one hanging above and one hanging below.
Oh gosh, that has such a vintage flair. I just love it so much.
So yes, as simple as this, if you
Mhm.
had um this little bale is the best. I was making these out of copper and
Mm,
uh tapping them here to give them rigidity and stuff. And
right,
then I
right.
found these for sale and I thought, oh, there
Oh,
is a Santa Claus.
that's right. Your life has become so much easier. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, on the screen, I put folks, you can just look up Julie Haymaker. Do remember that you're going to add the molds to your order through Julie. On Sunday, let me flash the schedule that we've got for the Great Bead Extravaganza. If you haven't, oh, let me turn off that comment. Sorry, bear with me here just a second. Um, if you have not printed out your schedule as of yet, you can go right to the Great Bead Extravaganza group, which you're watching this in right now. Go to the featured or pinned items, or you can also just scroll through photos and you'll see this there. You can take a screenshot of it. You can take a screenshot of this now as I'm leaving this up. But you can see we've got all time zones from Hawaii through Eastern. Sorry, Europe, we didn't put the Grinch, the GMT, but you can figure out the time zones from there. Gail will be doing her segment on Sunday, and she'll be starting at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Eastern time. So, Gail, I'm going to put your let me see if I can take this thing off. So gorgeous. I can't wait to see all of this in action.
Well, it's fun action is what it is. I mean, this got me through the pandemic. It totally did.
Yeah.
It's responsible for what's left here.
Yeah. No, I feel you. It was really cool when um Julie I don't know, maybe I found a Facebook group. I'm not really sure about how I found it all. But I ordered some right away and I started playing around with it and jumping in. It was really, really fun. And so you can see, Gail, I've just put your website up and folks, you can jump in and go to Gail's under her about and just see beautiful examples of her work. Look at that. Look at that one. Oh, is that paper or is that metal clay?
You know what? I can't see.
Oh, it's the big round
I know, but
embossed.
I'm restricted to just my one
Oh, to
camera.
your thing. I
Yep.
think because you are doing some beautiful things with paper as well.
I like to make it look like metal, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Um so if they were earrings, they might be, well, the earring shells maybe.
Yes. I'm going, well, and they're all under things. So here's your felt. I'm just showing this. And then let me go down into, oh, your mixed media. Gorgeous. 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 I'll go back to StreamYard. Let me take this out. Great. Anything that you want to show from the top camera at all, Gail? Because I can take that out and let you reposition.
I don't I don't think so.
Okay.
Um pardon me. I think this is the mother load right here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Uh,
And so we'll be looking at that view again on Sunday when you do the step by step and show us how to make all that cool stuff.
that's right. That's right. So I probably will do a demo of a little bit of with the translucent and a little bit with the opaque, just to
Okay.
show how I
Mhm.
handle them a little bit differently.
Mm.
Yep.
Great. And then you'll also show us how to shrink them and put them all together.
Yes, exactly. So I'll be like Betty Crocker or whoever does the cooking shows, and
That's right. Julia
I'll
Child.
have the one I'll I'll draw on it so you can see it, and then I'll shrink that, but the other ones will be all done, and so I
Oh,
can then show you how to assemble them
that'll be
with a
awesome.
little bit of super glue gel, you know,
Oh, look at that.
and that
All
comes in your
right.
little package. So
Oh,
you
great. So you, whoops. Sorry, someone's calling me. Why everyone I want to talk to is right here. I thought I put it on do not disturb. Look at that. Gorgeous. Well, I'm going to take you out of the shot real quick. I'll let you recombobulate your camera.
am I coming back to my face?
Yeah, coming back to your face. I'll take you
Okay.
out for the moment. Okay, so while Gail recombobulates herself, let's take a look and see if there's let's see. Oh, and I'll ask, this is a great question about what mold do you suggest, etc. Let me get Gail back on here. Gail, I'm going to add you. There you are. Fantastic. There's a couple of questions, Gail, about the molds.
Yes.
Um, you were saying that the pink mold is needed.
The pink
Um,
mold is the only is the only thing we need for this particular project.
okay, okay,
But if they don't have molds yet, they'll need to buy the 4 molds.
okay. The 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the set of 4. And what's the difference? The set of 4 has more stuff in it, obviously.
It has 4 different molds. So
Okay,
um yeah, I it has pink, white, green, and yellow.
okay.
And they
And
all
they're a
have a
great
different profile. So
a profile,
um
right?
I like the pink because it's more of a bevel. You know, it
Mhm,
has wider edges and a smaller bottom
mhm, mhm.
instead of a little cup. The white one's a tight cup. And the
Gotcha.
green one makes like a ruffled potato chip. And the yellow one is works best for like a 5-lobed
Oh,
flower or
piece.
whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, can people buy more of just your shrink things? Do you have those available?
Yes, I don't have them listed yet, but I will. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, great. Great, great. All right. Well, I think people are loving this project. I'm just jumping in to see if there's any more questions here. Uh, They also, Anita loves your chain colors. I know, I love those colors of those chains. So,
This
so gorgeous.
red raspberry seems to be my fave at this point. This, you know, um,
Listen to that noise. I love jewelry that makes noise.
I know. I did a
Look
little
at that.
video yesterday where I they were all hanging and I clanged them, and it
Oh,
was
I love it.
pretty cute. I thought I could put it on some social media thing, but I was foiled.
Well, we could, after we get the sound down, Gail, we could add some more stuff to social or send it to me. I'll put it up on the Great Bead Extravaganza. No problem.
Okay. Is there a
Yeah, do it.
limit to that? I mean, I have a 3-second one and an 11-second one.
I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Send me the long one.
All
Let's
right.
see if we can get it up there.
Mm.
Well, this is awesome. And then um here's another question here. Do I understand that Sunday is effectively a demo and we'll get a video with the kit? Is there a video that goes along with the kit as well?
There is, and that's why this is a pre-sale, because I've been away. I haven't been able to attend to that and get it nailed down. So
Mhm.
that's my job starting Monday to really pull that together. But yes,
Okay,
it will
great.
have a video and a link and a password in your kit.
Awesome. And then another quick question, Gail. If they've already purchased a kit, can people buy additional chain? Um,
Yes. Yep. And that
okay.
will go up at the when I put the pre-cuts up too.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah,
Because I think people are chomping. I'm going to get some of that chain. I love it.
the chain rocks, really.
It does rock.
Yeah.
Well, I think that everyone is super excited for your Sunday demo. I'm excited. I'm excited to see you shrink all that stuff and put that together. So folks, you're gonna see Gail again on tomorrow night's preview. Let me put up the schedule here one more time. Do note that our project preview party is tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. That'll be right here where you're watching, right here on the Great Bead Extravaganza page and group as well. I'm actually going to be missing this one because I will actually be traveling, but it's a quick little travel, so you folks will see me on Sunday. But I will be, or on Saturday, but I'll be back on Sunday with Gail at 2:30 p.m. Pacific and 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So take that final screenshot as I take this off the thing. And Gail, I think that is someone else is asking about a heat gun. You're going to use a heat gun for this, is that right?
That is correct. And what
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for, if you don't have one, you're not looking for I don't even know what the voltage is. You don't want to cook the paint off your side of your house. You're looking
Mm-hmm.
for approximately a 300-watt craft
Okay.
heat gun.
A craft heat gun, right. Not those ones, right, where we're stripping the furniture.
Right.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see all of that heating, all of that. It's going to be awesome. Gail, thank you so much for joining us at the Great Bead Extravaganza and being our special guest artist. We are so lucky to have you. And we're, as always, in awe of all of your artistic endeavors.
Thank you, Kate.
Amazing.
Thank you for all of you folks leading towards me to bring me along. I appreciate it so much.
Well, it's great. I love having a bunch of different artists and a bunch of different mediums that we can share out into the world. So I will see you, my friend, right back here on Sunday. I can't wait. And folks, we'll see you then. Thank you all so much for joining in. Don't forget that you can find I'm trying to find where I put her. Find her again at gailcrosmanmore.com. There'll be links. There's links to all the kits. Jump on in and grab some of those, and we will see you all on Sunday.
Thanks so
Thanks so
much,
much.
Kate, and everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.